Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lenovo Tech World India Edition presents Dynamic Duos for Counter-Strike Global Offensive. The day is finally here, folks. The LAN event was going to happen in Delhi. And because for today, Bob Gusta alongside, I have Aggressive on my co-caster's desk as we are here to talk about the double elims, top four teams. Now, it's just all about the final one, the final stretch towards the grand finals, a total prize pool of 50,000 INR. And the best part about it is that winner takes all. Every single money that you see from 50,000 INR, the first place who gets this will definitely be having a fun time. That is for sure. Aggressive, welcome back. I mean, I know it's been a single. I mean, I know there was like a 1 day break from yesterday, but it felt like for a
I know
whole
you
weekend.
missed me a
How are you
lot,
doing?
dude. Just say
Yeah,
that.
I know. I do. Hmm.
Yeah, just say that you missed me a lot, and we missed this entire tournament, man. Come on, we wanted to
Yeah.
see this LAN for the longest time, a wingman LAN, and winner takes all. 50K. We forgot to state this for the last couple of days. We thought that okay,
Yep.
it's gonna be first place, second place, third place. They're gonna get a decent chunk of money. Whoop de
Hmm.
freaking. Now we
Yep.
got the confirmation that winner takes all, and you split the money between you and your buddy. 25,000 each.
25,000
What?
each. It's just like you can't even imagine that. All right. Most of them you'd at least have a consolation prize, but just by winning the tournament itself, you will get the whole money off of it. 50,000 INR. So, as we take a look at our top four teams who are selected from a ridiculous for a total of 100 teams. They had to compete against 100 teams just to get a land spot in Delhi. So here they are: Deadly Duo, Elo Eating, Team Narcos, and of course, last but not the least, the Rat Syndicate, who will be competing at the top, especially in the upper brackets. So since that this will be double elims, you could say that all four teams has a safety net. So
Yep.
let's not waste any time. Let's take a look at the schedules once again. The two matches that we're going to have for today: Team Narcos versus Team Elo Eating will be our first matchup for today. Deadly Duo versus Rad Syndicate. This will be our second matchup. Let's not forget, all of the matches that we're going to watch is a best of three. Both the upper brackets as well as the lower brackets, and the grand finals will be
Best of
a
five.
best of five, which means that all
All the
five
maps,
maps will
baby.
all the maps are open. Lake, Chalice, Boyard, everything is open. The only difference is which order do we get to see first. That's the only difference. So let's take a look at the map vetoes for Team Narcos versus Team Elo Eating. And just kind of like what kind of maps do we get to expect here, folks? Boyard for the first map, I believe. And then second being Shortdust. Third being Chalice. Chalice will be on deciders. Boyard and Shortdust is currently in map 2 where Team Elo Eating has made a decision to pick.
It's gonna be quite interesting because if Boyard is being taken up right off the bat, I do believe there are some technical issues, but that's completely fine because if the titles are anything to go by, Boyard, Shortdust, and Chalice. That's quite interesting because they've taken very unconventional maps, and both of these teams they have a tendency of not going towards these unconventional maps that often. Team
Hmm.
Narcos in particular, they prefer not to do this. This is
Yeah, I
very
mean,
questionable to say the very least because if you
mhm.
want to take them to maps like this, you need to have a game plan in mind because we know for a fact the members of Team Narcos they're not going to perform that well. We know how good Fired Up and SKO can be, but Elo Eating they've been playing this game throughout in and out because the members of Team Narcos they switch to other titles. So do they have that level of knowledge on maps like Boyard and Chalice? We're gonna find that out soon.
Yeah, we've already seen Element Texas performance on map Lake, where we did get to see him make some incredible shots. And now knowing that he needs to deal with the other three teams like Team Narcos, the Rat Syndicate, and Deadly Duos, it will be a very long run. That is for sure. Expect a lot of OTs. Expect longer matchups on these best of threes. And yeah, we'll be looking at Chalice and Boyard, two maps being picked. The only difference is that I'm guessing Boyard will be the decider map, and the second map will be Shortdust. Nonetheless, Shortdust, you could say it's more of like an even ground, even if map number one doesn't go out well in their end. You still have Shortdust as a safety net, but let's not waste any time at all,
Oh wait,
folks.
it's
Let us
Shortdust
proceed
first.
with the first match itself. Team Narcos versus Elo Eating, the first upper bracket finals. The winner of this will
Oh,
proceed to the grand finals of best of five. The loser of this matchup will have a second chance in the lower bracket. So let's not waste any time and proceed to round number one. Pistol rounds it is. Fired up, SK Wow, Element X. Izzy, we wish you guys the best of luck.
you really do need to just put an emphasis towards being consistent here. You do not want to be the person who goes towards the lower brackets. You want to have that luxury of just watching your opponents play and seeing exactly what they're going to be able to do against you. Moving on down the line, these Berettas going in for the body shots galore, but it does not hit. And wait a minute, where did he get that kill over on the other side? Element X does find one. And with that, the pistol round now goes in the favor of Elo Eating. Perfectly done all around. One on the side and one in the front. Team Narcos, they did not know what hit them, but now it's time for the reconciliation. What's the game plan for you guys now? You're stuck on an eco, but you opt for the buys. This could go either big, or they could be the ones who suffer a lot for this decision.
Yeah, Team Narcos needs to realize that Elo Eating has all the utilities that they want. Grenades and smoke to block lines of sight. Is he playing very deep? His location is still unknown, and he currently has the C4 in hand. He has to be very careful, but no, he gets the kill. He needs to fall back to safety, but you don't have to worry about it. Element X also finds one through the wall, removes Fired Up, and we will see Elo Eating gain a humongous lead on Shortdust, 2-0. And for Narcos, they still have to make their reply yet.
I love how confident the members of Elo Eating are. That's something that we can notice from them throughout the entire matchup, but SK Wow got for the shot. This gives a slap to the face. With this immediate take, that's going to be a really good one. Marcos though, on the other side, they need a timing for it. And yep, that's all that they required. Fired Up had the close quarters combat in his arsenal. And with the moment of confusion that the members of Elo Eating were facing, they were just not mentally prepared for that fight. 1 and 2, Team Narcos, they get themselves on the board on an eco round, mind you, Baba. So their money is in a really good spot.
Yes, Galil's in hand, but Elo Eating still has to be careful with their weapons. Oh, a lot of damage being dealt around from Element X. And SK Wow still goes aggressive. Flash is being used, and another counter flash being used as well from Elo Eating's side. But at this point, it's just mid-control, and it's still Elo Eating who gets the control. There goes SK Wow, and it's now a 1v2. At least on the bright side, you could say that Fired Up has a decent weapon to engage in long range and a grenade to build up if they do decide to go in for a plant. But he's all by himself, and he needs to expect a trade out if Elo Eating do decides to find one of the players. It's either a plant, which could be the optimal solution, or they could hunt down Fired Up. They have 35 seconds. Info will be given. Galil so strong in the hands of Fired Up. Now, one will happen. 2 fire attempts through the boxes. Hopefully get Izzy, but he's still alive. Flashes to block lines of sight. And at this point, Izzy will be playing safe.
But that is a complete another turnaround. The man made a run for it. This could be huge for him because he's in an optimum position to try and hold down this plan. Full-stand position is beautiful, and as soon as that tap comes in, things are just gonna go from bad to worse. A kit in the hands of Fired Up. No, he doesn't even have a kit. They're done for. If this man catches him, he goes off the bomb. It's already over. He doesn't have enough time.
Oh man, no time at all. And Izzy just gets the kill. Patience is exactly what it requires for Elo Eating. They know how powerful Team Narcos is, especially on the eco round. Second round was a forced buy with an SMG. And round number 3, Team Narcos quickly flung it back with a powerful shot and a control towards mid. Now, Elo Eating knows there's a lot of pressure towards mid, so they decide to go all the way towards the site. Removes Fired Up. They have smoke. They'll block lines of sight, but they still have no idea on what kind of weapon SK Wow has. Op in hand. Very powerful in long range, but not that powerful in sight. Unless and until if he has the godlike aim, maybe a hip fire shot that we might expect. Just gonna wait and watch. Post plan
It's
it
the
is.
sound.
No info. At this point, Izzy's just patiently waiting. Maybe we could see a knife. No knife. Just an AK in hand. They're not gonna pick up the op because they know that it's a risky decision to make.
It's just one of those situations that you can't really get yourself out of at all. You need to try and think of a game plan here. Team Narcos swinging it out like that without your buddy, knowing that he has an op in hand, it's not going to get you a lot of these rounds. I understand you have that safety net of going over to the lower brackets, but that is not where you want to be. Play for the long haul. You just need to keep on fired up. Now playing the close corner near the tunnels. Element X, beautiful shot onto it. The place of SK. Wow, good for the first one. And run over from the side. The 5-7 is good for these close range engagements, but not in this case. Element X, he just has his phone number to call him up and take him back home. 1 and 5 as Elo Reading, they hold down the fort quite well. But for Team Narcos, they're slowly inching their way towards a possible round win. And they need this round. If they can get 2 more rounds under their belt, they're going to have a good second half to play with.
I mean, at this point, Team Narcos have to be very careful on their approach. And the way how they gain control inside very quickly. There is an attempt of a wall bang.
Nice.
Actually, not a wall bang. Pre-fire through the smoke. Will secure it. Good discipline. All it requires was just a single sound cue. And that will put Elo Reading at a major disadvantage. Izzy, all left by his lonesome. It's a 1v2. He only has 2 flashbangs that can at least help him disable that trade. But once he steps out of the building, his location should be revealed, and there you go. Fired Up will get the kill, and Team Narcos, they will slowly fling back. Giving their reply back too. 5 kills to Fired Up, 6 to 4 kills from both Element X and Izzy. Have a terrific start in the first half. But now, as we slowly reach towards the end of the first half, you can see that Elo Reading will try to end things off on an 8, maybe on a 7-2 scoreline. At this point, they know that gaining control towards mid is definitely not a good idea. Through they'll be able to deal major damage, and they will get the kill nonetheless. Whoa, that was just well played from Team Narcos. They knew that once they go in for the plant, all it requires is that perfect lineup. And that's how teamwork happens, folks. Get to see the faces from the side of Narcos. Fired Up and SK. Wow, just giving that fist bump. They'll be happy about that result. 5-3.
Yep. They're going to be more than happy when you consider the options that they took. They were like, okay, Elo Reading, they like to rush the site together, right? Why don't we just play a little bit further back, wait for them to opt to go in for that plant, and then just start to wall bang them? They haven't really been contesting us aggressively, so without that aggressive approach, we can play very defensive and get a catch onto them there. Planning was good, and they were able to adapt perfectly as well, but now it's time for another adaptation. Elo Reading, it's your turn to maybe find something. Footsteps being given, but Fired Up is none the wiser. He wasn't even prepared to react to it. Now SK, wow, what's your game plan? Swing out from the side, doesn't really find anyone. Positions are not known. And this man is just trying to look for something. Time is running out, no kit in hand. He needs to find the stab and possibly the kill. He's not gonna miss, and he's able to hold it down strong. Nicely done coming in from the members of Elo Reading. They were able to isolate each and every one of these gunfights and be able to take it over. Nicely done.
Yeah, Fired Up was caught off guard. And what had happened was that Element X kind of saw the shadow of the T side. So once he realized that he was playing from the other side, okay, wait a minute, Elo Reading all the way aggro towards the mid control, and here comes a response. SK, wow, denied from Element. The X factor for Shortdust. And boy, oh boy, Elo Reading is having a tear right now in Shortdust. 1v2 once again.
Buys.
Yeah, it's even weird to look at a lot of ridiculous buys being made from the Narcos. But yeah, it's a 1v1. Finally, they've got the even ground. But they have no info on the C4. Oh boy. Fired Up gets it. A jump peak of that too. Can you imagine jumping with the Galil? We've seen players jump with an AWP, but jumping with the Galil and committing a spray, now that is pure dedication.
That's just a lot of experience and a good chunk of mechanical skill just coming in. That confidence to do something as such an easy. He just ran out without any care in the entire world. SKY is going to be there to capitalize though. The spray control is going to be good from his side. Elo eating, that was very questionable, but hey, if you got a kill out of it, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, it was an eco round, and the way how I saw Izzy make his rickshaw peak, I was like, wow, that I did not expect it to see that. But I kind of like how Elo eating just goes on all the way towards the aggressive. Especially Izzy. His location is still unknown. They will play accordingly to post plant, but they need to be quick and precise. Plant is happening, which means that they don't have any kits. And Izzy might be the surprise factor. There you go. That's one. He just needs to find the second. Smokes to block lines of sight. Control on the side is imminent. And SK Wow, his location is still unknown. Izzy, on the other hand, he doesn't have to worry about it because Element X has got his friend covered. 5-6. Now it's going to be 5-7 with Elo eating currently being the ones on the lead. They are one or maybe two steps closer to securing the grand final spot. And I've got to admit, the first matchup itself, it is looking very close, folks.
Yep. They both know each other's playstyles and they're constantly evolving and adapting to each and every strategy. And when you are in a situation like this, you know for a fact that things are just going to get even more difficult. A run across the molly is not going to happen. It's perfectly placed. And now the members of the CTs in a much more forward approach, but the jump down, that's going to hurt a bit. Element X, you got to be careful there, buddy. He nearly paid for it with his own life the way that he peeked out of that corner. A little bit costly, but for Elo eating, this is match point on the line. Take it slow, take it steady. Wait for them to make the first initial mistake before you do anything here. Positionally, they have the entire map under control. Catwalk is theirs, and so is the tunnels. And fired up, he is none the wiser for this play. He's just avoiding. The spray is gonna be good from Easy. Nicely done. 5-8 as they take match point for themselves.
Elo eating, my god, the patience from Izzy and the performance from this guy, man, it's just so amazing to watch. And also, I do have to rectify one thing, that the winner of this matchup will be having a spot on upper bracket finals. So the winner will be going up against the second matchup. It's going to happen right now. But I just kind of like the aggressive playstyle that we are seeing here from Elo eating. Quickly convert into a 1v1, and it's Izzy. Once again, info will be given. Mac 10, not really strong in long range. Finds one, commits to the spray. But he's still alive nonetheless. It's just patience. He still has the incendiary. He could block the flood. He has something else to say, and that's the backstab.
There's just so much you have to worry about in scenarios like this. You can't play it way too close. You can't be way too far up. These 1v1 situations on wingman maps just shows exactly how good a team can be. You give them a chance to just run it down. And with the CTs now having full control over towards the side, the members of Team Narcos, they are starting to think of a consistent approach for all of this. Good for the first shot. Now looking for even more. The spray's gonna be perfect with Element X. He just gets the double. 6-9. As the members of Elo eating, they take map number 1. With pretty much no trouble whatsoever. They felt very comfortable on this map.
Yeah, Element X, man. This is definitely the player that you have to watch out for. The plays that we've seen, the commitment to that communication skills is just watch. And I kind of like the way how they have this switch, the switch flick. Like sometimes we see them go all the way towards the aggressive side. Sometimes we see them play as passively as possible. And whenever you see them pick most of their force buys, I still have to give credit towards Team Narcos because round number 2 they lost the force buy, so they were forced to go in for an eco round. And once we saw that dig hit from SK Wow, That was pretty much it. It was a 1v2. They had control on mid, so they know that that currently the second player would be playing towards the A side. So they just have to corner him and take him out one by one. That has to be one of the most expensive rounds because they had all the utilities and it was just removed with a single dream of a deep shot. It's just that's the thing about Counter Strike. Even if you're in an eco round, there is still a chance for any player to come back. And I've got to say, for Team Narcos, they have given an amazing example from map number one, Shortdust. But
Yep.
now it's still not over yet. We still have two more maps to go, and if we get to see Team Elo Eating secure map number two, then that means they'll be heading straight up towards the upper bracket finals, where they'll be going either up against the Rat Syndicate or they might go up against Deadly Duo. We just have to wait for that.
You never really know when it comes down to situations like this. We're going to be heading on down over to the highlights just to relive all those moments because there were a bunch of nutty shots that we really need to talk about, man. The way that the teams were playing, they were insane. They didn't skip a beat when it came down to a lot of these situations. They were clean, they were crispy, they knew what they really needed to do, and the utility usage was on point. Team Narcos on the other side, though, I'll have to give that criticism that their utility was a little bit more slower in comparison to the members of Elo Eating. Elo Eating, they had a plan in the way they utilized their utility, and they did it in proper conjunction with one another, especially when it came down to the counter terrorist side. As soon as they swapped over the sides, you could see that they were in the zone. When they had control of a portion of the map, they were not going to let that portion go until one of them died for it. And that is when the members of Narcos went in for those long flanks, understanding that, hey, if the members of Elo Eating like to play towards the objective, why don't we try to play it a bit slower? Wait for them to come towards us because they need to push out for information, correct? But no, the members of Elo Eating read into that strategy as well, opted for a much more aggressive approach of their own with the buddy system right off the bat. So Narcos, they were just not mentally prepared for any of this. The switch up of the tempos that Elo Eating were employing is something that we haven't seen from a lot of the other teams. And if this is what they're bringing to the table here in the LAN environment, that is going to tilt a lot of people if they're not prepared for something like this.
Yep. Team Narcos, they might have lost short dust, but maybe Chalice and Boyard might have something else to say in map number two and three. At this point, Elo Eating has currently gained the upper hand with some amazing performance that we did get to witness from Izzy. Great wall banks from Team Narcos, especially fired up. They had great utilities. All they had to do was just find the perfect moment, and they know that from the T side they have to proceed with post plant. So once they hear that clicking noises from the C4, they'll just go ahead proceed with the wall bang, which was really well timed, and it's actually very difficult to predict exactly where to fight. But there was a lot of commitment sprays from Narcos's end, especially from the AKs. Some did connect, some did not, and there were some certain moments where Elo Eating took the best advantage off of it by just going in for infos, repositioning themselves in a different location, and knowing that from the AK, he still needs to save at least 5 or 6 bullets if he's going for a commitment spray. So they just timed it so well in a way that they did ended up securing some of the rounds. But all in all, Elo Eating, the performance that he's seen from Element X is just absolutely crazy, man.
The way that this entire roundup went through, I really am interested to see what Team Narcos can do to try and come on back. Like Waba, you lost out on Short Dust, a map where Team Narcos felt the most comfortable. And Elo Eating
Hmm.
on the other side, they lost this map 9-1 when they were playing their top 8 matchup. Remember?
Yeah, yeah, I remember. Yes, loud. I
So
mean, I still remember Thursday. Day. Yep.
yeah, and they did a reverse sweep, going over to the other maps and just completely changing the tides of the battle from there. In this LAN environment, they're hyped up, they're prepared, and they are ice cold. And this is the type of team you're going up against. I don't know if it's just the LAN environment getting to the members of Team Narcos, but we know how good they are as a squad. But as a team, for some reason, they're not really playing together as well. They're making good individual decisions, but as a team, they're getting shut down in more ways than one.
LAN is a different experience if you compare it with online. Online is just the usual. You just sit at home, you just play, and when it comes to communication, you use it via communications. But when it comes to LAN, you know that your team, you know that your teammate is like literally on your left side, and you have your opposition just staring right through you. The feeling of being in a versus state, and especially in a place where you don't have to worry about pings or anything and just focus on your mechanics, your strategies, it gives you that different experience, and it gives you that it's just so amazing to be in, man. I wish I was in Delhi right now, just looking at the players, see their excitement and the amount of adrenaline rush that they experience on every single round. You can see the commitment space. You usually don't see. We didn't get to see a lot of wall bangs in short dust, right? Aggressive. I mean, we usually see just the usual denials. We saw Molotovs to block the T side from entering towards the side. We didn't get to see a lot of post plans being made from the T side. Usually, the first and second matchups do tend to end up in a 9-1 or a 9-5. But this was almost a close round. Team Narcos could have ended up in going way above and beyond to put ourselves to OT. But yeah, it was Elo Eating who did get the best end of it. Element X, great performance. We'll get to see that in the match scoreboard itself. The total kills, that's an assess. 13 kills to Element X, 10 kills to Fired Up. Great matchup in map number one, Short Dust. But we just have to wait and watch on map number two and three, folks.
Yeah, both of them just like all of these teams, they deserve to be here for a reason, but the one that can win it all is the one that can cope with the pressure that comes into when you're playing in a LAN environment. And in this scenario, Elo Eating, they didn't even care. It's as if they were playing if they were in their homes. For Elo Eating, I really am interested to see what kind of strategies they're gonna pull out on Chalice and Boyard if it goes down that far. Chalice for them could just be a stomping ground because this is a team that knows what the hell they're doing when it comes down to those other maps. And when you look at the overarching storyline, I don't care how good you are in Cobblestone and Short Dust. If your other maps, let's say Lake, Boyard, and Chalice, are on a different level, when you are in this sort of an environment, right? If you are a team that deserves to be in the grand finals, you will be the ones to win just because of those three maps. And if those three maps come anywhere in between the map veto screen, and if you get a favorable veto, there's a good opportunity you might take a 3-0 victory. And Elo Eating look to be the ones who have already setting themselves up for that. We're gonna find that out soon enough though, Baba, you know as well. Because the next map will possibly be Chalice. And if that's the case, ooh boy, this is gonna be an interesting one.
Yep. 9-6 on map Short Dust. Map number two, that will be the map to determine whether if Team Narcos can pull this through or will they go down to the lower brackets. Amazing performance from both the sides, man. I got to give it to them. I got to give it to Team Narcos. Playing from CT's side, the amount of patience that I see was just really good. And knowing how serious they were in denying plans, in wasting a lot of time gaining info, but it was Elo Eating who were had that on and off switch on being aggressive and passive both at the same time, making the opposition team double guess in a way that they would end up losing that prediction wise. And it was just great to see Team Narcos just trying up their level best to hold their ground. Unfortunately, it still wasn't enough on Short Dust, but they still have a lot of chance. I mean, even if they do lose the first matchup, they would go for lower brackets, and that is the only chance that they can ever get. So instead of wasting that single chance, it could be best for them to proceed into the upper bracket finals, look at how the team performance goes out, and just devise a plan to that accordingly. And
True.
it all just comes down to the mind games, right? Aggressive, even though if you have great skills or strategies, it always comes down to those 50-50 duels in which it heavily relies on the pure gun skills that most of the players have. So it heavily relies on that. And once they secured the kill, that person has the ability to change the entire change of the game. So map number 2, we just have to wait and watch. And I'm pretty sure it's either Chalice or Boyard. I'm not quite sure which one is it, but yeah, map number 2, Team Narcos. They haven't secured the map because it will be Team Elo Eating who are one step closer towards the upper bracket finals. And yeah, Element and Izzy, they are on a different element right now.
True. Element X being the thing that made the Powerpuff Girls. And in this situation, Element X is what's really carrying the members of Elo Eating forward. Surely is a magical chemical. With this, we do believe that, yep, it's Boyard, alright. It's been such a long time since we last seen Boyard. But that's completely fine and dandy because the team, they're going to be showcasing to us exactly how Boyard is meant to be played. A couple of pop shots being taken from either side. Warning shots, you would think. As I do believe that the members of Narcos are just slightly lost when it comes down to the positioning. They're not able to find out as much. Element X very low on HP, and Izzy also needs to back on off. SK, wow, good for the timing. Just needs a couple of shots to try and kill off each of them. Doesn't really find the hits that he wants. And this Glock has the bullets to make the spams happen, but one headshot from a USP. You're going to be 10 feet down under Izzy. He's going to be the executioner for this one. A double kill for him, and a 1-0 scoreline going in the favor of the members of Elo Eating.
Elo Eating is currently having a good run in the first matchup. Once again, pistol round is in their hands. Pressure at the hands of Team Narcos. Mac 10s and a D from SKY. Once again, that could be the make it or break it moment. Will secure one. Element X just decided to go in for a pop flash through the smoke. Won't be able to secure the kill because he got counter flashed. Is he? Still has the SMG though, the MP9. Very powerful in close range, but he needs to be in that position first because he is all the way towards the backside. Still waiting for the perfect moment.
Also wait for the plant.
Yeah, he's still waiting for the plant too, but he doesn't have any utilities though. Only has the defuse kit. So yeah, they just have to wait patiently.
They've already gotten the read for this one though. Boyard being such a small map that you can just easily wrap around the counter terrorist in just a matter of seconds if you know what the matchup is looking like for you. But knowing the members of Team Narcos, they're expecting this to be a very slow approach. Elo Eating, they're playing this one so smart. And look at JC. Could easily have the timing for a possible one kill. Doesn't know their exact position, but he does have one flash to play around with. A flash in hand could just be big. No real utility being used and fired up. He has the best angle for it. A little bit of an off angle for him to play with here. A 1-1 scoreline. As Team Narcos, they take the force by round under their belt. Their economy is finally surely stabilized.
Yeah, definitely Team Narcos wants this in second round. Beautiful counters, boost spot from Elo Eating just shows how aggressive they can be. But it's been denied immediately from Fired Up. Just great patience as we expect to see from the T side. Weapons will be given, smokes will be there to block lines of sight. Post plant Izzy, they have no clue, but SKY does. There you go. If they lost short map dust, they still have hopes to get map Boyard and put us all the way towards the deciders. But the main problem still has to be from Elo Eating though. Only one flash. No other utilities present. So they can make that utility count. Wall bang attempt. That is really good coming in from Elo Eating's side. And SKY will reply back. Both of them very tagged out a lot, but I'm pretty sure that both the teams have great knowledge towards it. I mean, wall bangs are just so on point. You do get to see the post plant from Team Narcos. Absolute control towards the site. No boost from Element X, but he's just gonna wait it patiently. See whether if that distractions would work. But it's Elo Eating who needs to proceed with the defuse. No defuse kit. 10 seconds. Full on commitment. So they have to make it or break it. No flash, no nothing. Fired up. Gets one. Now it's just up to Izzy, who will be facing the major problems because that C4 time is the time of no return. He still gets one kill. That is the only kill he'll ever get. Needs to run away, maybe save the gun, but no, Fired Up just says it's not gonna happen. Not gonna save your weapon, nor anything at all. Still gets caught out from the explosion, but he'll still have enough amount of weapons to put himself back up on his feet.
1-3. Team Narcos, they're slowly but surely inching a lead for themselves, not only in the terms of the rounds, but also in the terms of the economy. Elo Eating forced into just some hefty small buys to turn things around from here. This is fruit on that engagement. Good for the one headshot, but he doesn't really find the confirmations. Elo Eating, they're dropping like flies. They need to try and reconcile and find a game plan or a strategy or something to give them an edge here, because the way that they're losing, things are just spiraling out of control.
Once again from Elo Eating, but this time the boost is definitely not working out. At least on the bright side, they'll get the trade-off.
And the Narcos, look at him.
Yeah.
Look at Fired Up, he's like, what? Wait, what?
Happened. And now you rescue, what would be like, wait, when did Izzy appear from that place?
Yep.
Oh man, 2-4.
Double kill cams for a reason.
Yep, there are double cams for a reason though. You always like to see those reactions when something happens and you just go, what, when did that happen? Is match related to science? It's just the pace that we see from Team Narcos. Although round number 6 it didn't work out well because there was a heavy attack. So Fired Up needs to be very careful. Oh, Izzy, great
Nice
response.
shot,
Just a good response from him.
Oh no, it's a boost again. This boost hasn't really been able to give them a lot of opportunities, but they're not opting for this fight. They know they have used this boost so often that they will hold for this. Last player around the corner, and Izzy just gets the catch. Nicely done, Izzy. He has such a good read on this map. Slowly but surely, the members of Team Elo Eating, they're evolving, they're adapting, and they're building new strategies on a regular basis. And these strategies will start to take a lot more time for the members of Team Narcos to get a hold of. Izzy just catches out an over-aggressive player, and that will now hurt even more than ever. Molotov used and also a smoke. They're able to hold down the lines, and they're playing with the body system in hand. Swing out from the side. That's the first, and Element X is going to be there for the backup. Beautiful shots. They had a rough time to start everything off, but when the ball started rolling in their court, they made sure they went in for the finish shot.
Team Narcos, they've at least equalized the first half. But at this point, you could say that Elo, you could still say that the CT still have the major advantage on map Boyard, unless and until Team Narcos have something else to say from their defensive hold. Flash has already been popped. Not quite sure whose flashbang was used, but Izzy still has one from his hand. No defuse kit from Narcos, which means that they need to commit to a full-on 10 seconds. But since this is a pistol round, you have to be careful on the denial. No kill's been made just yet, but it will be fired up to response back. Just here's the sound. Even with the smokes being used, all it requires is just the free fires. The high ground, tough to contest. Element X, not a lot of bullets left. Still needs to be careful on the high ground, and the player playing very close. And the P2000, it's actually a great weapon to, hit a lot of shots through the wall. Okay. I just saw a jump from Fired Up. And he just replied back to me, you know what, Baba? P2000 isn't just a weapon that could be used to shoot through smokes and then just proceeds with a jump shot with a headshot. It's just...
Confidence is key,
Yep.
We do see a scout coming into play from MX. Maybe that could be a big game changer for them. The scout doesn't really find a lot of value. Does get a tag, but that tag alone doesn't really mean anything. Fired Up. Just find a double with his buddy Eski. Wow. 4-6 as Team Narcos. They're getting their win slowly but surely. But now Elo Eating, they need to try and retaliate here. Couple of brute force buys from their end. Galil in their sights as well. This Mac 10 could just be a game changer for their side if they can try to catch catch over on the one. That's actually simply far.
That nade has got to hurt. At least on the bright side, they will succeed in the post plant, but they have no idea where fired up location was. So, yeah, if secured it, Team Narcos will end this round in a 7-4. So, gotta admit, they're just playing it as patiently as possible. But Team Narcos, on the other hand, are currently the ones facing the upper hand when it comes to their advantage. And I'm thinking that maybe, you know, Elo Eating will use the boost again, because boost is the secret of Izzy's strategy.
How long were you thinking about that?
For a long time, aggressive. For a long, long time.
It's fine. At least you got it out of your system. And I do
Yeah, I
believe
did.
the Team Narcos, they were not amused by your strategy.
Yep.
They're just opting for even more of an aggressive approach. And level amount of times that Elo Eating have just opted for the usual white swings, it's just not working out for them. Where's the utility that we have seen them use on the previous matchups? Boyard seems to be a map that they don't have a lot of understanding of. Utility used from one side, the smoke's gonna cover everything up, and Fired Up, he's showing so much respect here. And this level of respect is what's gonna give the time for the plan to come on down through. And here's where the mind games start to be played. Elo Eating on overside. That's easy. He goes in for the wraparound from the staircase, catches Fired Up as he walks out through the smoke. 5 and 7. And they still have a chance of taking a lead here. Izzy so good when it comes down to these clutch situations. He knows how he needs to play. He knows how to get into the heads of his opposition. With this take, Elo Eating. They're 5 and 7 and they have weapons to try and take fights with. Utilities galore. These fights just about to begin.
Up smokes once again. Do we see any response from SK? Wow. Well, deals major damage. No trades being done. It's the second info will be given from Fired Up, as he'll reposition very quickly. But he has no idea on Izzy's whereabouts though. So he Fired Up. Oh boy. He's in a very tough
That
spot though.
timing.
It's difficult. How can you secure this? I mean, they're
He
just
doesn't
so...
have a kit. No kit.
Yeah, no kit. Crossfire angle already been established, so even if one gets it, the other would just easily get out. Fired Up gets one. Okay, Element X was just unaware of his location. He could get the second kill too. He does. Just pick up the AK and runs away to safety. It was just too late. It was just too late. But on the bright side, you could say that Fired Up has at least managed to remove both of the players, which could hurt a lot of economy in the next round. And just like I said it, we will see Izzy bring out Mac 10s this time. Mac 10s, short range gunfights, which means that Elo Eating will be facing major issues if Team Narcos decides to hold their ground, especially with their, especially if they have that high ground control. Smoke's definitely not working out well, but for Elo Eating, all it requires is just patience.
So much value and Fired Up. So instantaneous and so quick when it came down to that engagement. He just does not miss a shot. Especially when he has such an incredible screen on his laptop. Like, come on, Baba. Lenovo Legion fights. Best in the market for a reason.
Okay, Fired Up. Still got to be careful with the op shots, though. Definitely not a good way and not a good peak, too. Oh, man. Team Narcos, ladies and gentlemen, will fling back. They will answer with a 9-6 scorecard, with 4 back-to-back op kills from Fired Up, which means that we are going all the way to our deciders match. And it will be none other than Chalice, the saving grace. But whose will it shall be? You just have to wait and find out. And I've got to say, Team Narcos, they just really showed up their amazing performance on Boyard. And boy, oh boy, did they made some amazing performance.
That's for certain. The way that the plays were being made, the way that the members of the defense, the members of the attack were playing this one down through, Everyone had a strategy in mind, but as soon as that op came in, Elo Eating just lost all hope. It was a 4-4, mind you, Baba. 4-4. And this is where it went to. Good opportunities on either side, but the members of Team Narcos, they just played the buddy system way better. Elo Eating, they had a system in place of what they really wanted to do, but they had nothing to counteract this op. You need smoke lineups, you need to understand where your opposition likes to play when they have an op in hand, and just try to find any form of information. Clutch miracle plays like this can only get you so far. That really did hurt the chances of Elo Eating for even trying to get this one done.
Yeah, it was very difficult for them. Once Team Narcos just played it as safe as possible in the first half, even with Elo Eating securing the pistol round, the way how Narcos just flung back and answered with a round number two, denial was just so well done. They realized that once they'll be playing heavily accordingly to post plant, they just have to remove one player out of the equation, try to commit to a, tries to commit for a fake plant every single time to maybe flush out one of the players or two to get the confirmation on the kill
Yep.
and then proceed with post plant. 1v2 advantage is always a good thing. Trade outs, Elo Eating weren't getting the possible chances because usually you'd see them spread out a lot. And the weapons that they were currently using, I can't blame them. They had the M4 silencer, they even had, M4S, both of them. So usually playing accordingly to crossfire angles would be a great way. But if one of the player gets caught out in a position that the others cannot end up getting a trade, then that's just a recipe for disaster. There's no other way for Elo Eating to fling back unless and until if they play together, and we didn't get to see that very often.
But
I mean, we did
not
get to
on
see
this
it in
map at
short
all.
dust. Yeah, we did get to see a lot of that in short dust, but not a lot on map Boyard, which brings me to conclusion whether if Elo Eating were facing a lot of issues when it comes to their push-ups, were they very much afraid of the CTs getting that high ground control, or is it because they were spreading out too much? Because you can clearly see that 9-6. Team Narcos, they are not out of the game just yet, folks. We are going to the deciders. Fired up with a total of 18 kills. Izzy with 9. And Elo Eating, they had, although they did secure map number 1. Second, though, Boyard, it still goes at the hands of Team Narcos.
It's a 50-50 coin toss, pretty much, when you think about it. Fired up, man. The guy got 18 kills. 18 goddamn kills.
Uh,
It was on fire throughout this entire roundup. And Elo Eating, they got the revenge from the side of Narcos. A served cold 9-6 loss. For them, it's gonna hurt a little bit. It's gonna sting, but as they head over to the third map, I am hoping that they have a strategy for Chalice. Another map that is very much unorthodox, but has similar lines of sight to what we would expect in a map like Shortdust. Similar levels of control, just a completely new and different playstyle that you need to take an approach from. How do you want to do it? Chalice, I would say, is a lot more streamlined, and personally, I like that map in comparison to all the other newer maps that we have in Wingman. So let's jump on down over onto the map video screen and check it out one more time to go from top to bottom. And with Chalice being the last matchup, let's just consider something here, Baba. Either we see one of the most one-sided affairs in a pretty long while, with the members of Elo Eating being able to take Chalice because it's similar to Short Dust, or the members of Team Narcos, they came prepped up with a strategy that will completely blow everyone away. Lineups for smokes, pop flash corners, and just pure raw aim with proper teamwork mixed into it.
yeah, absolutely, Aggie. And the major difference of it all is the control towards long hauls, right? For the CTs, if they lose long haul control, then that means they have higher chances of going in for that crossfire angle being established, one playing from the side and one from the other if they get controlled from long angles. So expect a lot of gunfights happening from that one single corridor. And one single corridor will make the difference between whether if the T side has the advantage or will it be on the defense. But nonetheless, the score count has been equalized from both the sides. Team Narcos, they will fling back on Boyard, which means that we are heading off to the deciders. Chalice is opened, and so is Team Elo Eating, who will be prepped up and ready to see what kind of distractions will they be able to make. So let's just jump into the game right away, folks, to match number 3. Map number 3, that is. Pistol round as quick as possible. And Elo Eating, they'll start things off on the defense. Oh, good shot though from Fired Up. Headshot. And Element X once again in a 1v2. We've seen him make a lot of clutches with the silencer. Could he do it once again? Location has been given away. Good tags. But it's still not enough. Narcos starts things off. And for Elo Eating, they're currently feeling the pressure.
Feeling even more now. They know they have that safety net, but going through that safety net procedure is just not what you would want. So with a couple of frags coming in from the side, Fired Up around the corner. He's making so much noise here. He's so prepared mentally for it, but is he? Good with the 5-7, good for the first, and Element X has the crossfire to make things work. And a free AK for their troubles as well. That was a 2-for-1. If Izzy missed out on that shot, it was as good as over. Element X would have had no time to come in to try and save him. No smokes being utilized by the members of Team Narcos. That's gonna hurt quite a bit. That level of pressure and aim start to build up even more if they're not careful here. Fired Up has the angle, got the first kill, and now he's waiting for his buddy. Element X good for the equalization, but Fired Up always has someone close by to take the traits for him. SK Wild good when it came down to his reposition to help out his team. And that's another equal round. Reverse win going in the favor of Team Narcos. These equal rounds from both of these teams, it's just absolutely phenomenal.
Well, at this point, Fired Up is just getting started aggressive. And I just kind of like how they're holding their angles for now. Team Narcos, they were aggressive for like 2 rounds back to back, and this time they're just playing it passively. Wait for them to make a mistake. Turns out, is he actually dead? Leaving Element X all by his lonesome. A jump peek attempt with the scout.
Oh, this the jumping scout.
Oh, Jesus! The jump shot.
No way.
No way.
It's been
My
years
God.
since I last seen that happen. I do this all the time in custom games, but not in a place like this.
Not especially in the competitive map. Tags being made. Oh boy, Element. Oh, he's just finding the perfect chemical compound. Will it be? No, it is not. He's still alive. What? Are you kidding me? Element.
It's just a jumping scout, man. You can't beat this guy. Look at this, man. Oh! This guy has this down to a system. You know that he is a scout player if he can hit shots like this. His teammate was ecstatic. He's like, yeah, this is my guy. This is my duo right here. And both of these teams are at each other's throats.
Oh boy. Good positionings though from Izzy. Gaining the high ground control, but still Fired Up is still ready. Waiting for his prey to make its play. He's still alive though. Galil, even long range. The M4 silence is still with great accuracy though. So he needs to respect that gun and try to engage in close range. He could use some good flashes and smokes to block some lines of sight. But this long range gunfight he needs to be careful about, and Elo Eating. Man. What are we just witnessing right now, aggressive? Second map. It was Team Narcos who was just steamrolling towards Boyard. And now it's Elo Eating's turn to make plays like this. Oh man, I just love this. The boost spot from Element X. Playing accordingly to info. And still, they just have to worry about that long hauls. The long hauls is like the greatest contention for the T side. If they get control of it, then that means that they're very near towards the side. Main problem? It's eco round. Deagles in hand. Just requires that one shot to secure the kill. That could be more than enough. for Narcos to secure it, maybe at least equalize it to a 3-3.
There's so many different variables you need to take into consideration too. Positionally, though, they're completely fine and dandy. I would say nothing much to, force them back. Looking at the spot, wow, already has the timing for it, but he misses out on the shot. If he hit that, that would have been perfect. With that miss, they're going to be hurting even more when it comes down to the economy. The Tech 9 dealing good amount of chunks of damage. They're missing out on bullets here, and now they're in the vicinity of probably getting killed if they're not careful. The Tech 9 still doing work. Maybe good for the first kill. Fired Up's going to be able to find it. A couple of more body shots, then this is completely done and dusted here. Is he playing this one smart, playing this one slow? Just needs to wait it out for the long game, but he's not expecting it. Fired Up with a jump around. He's already giving away so much noise. Knows exactly what he is. Goes in for the shot and finds the final kill. Picks up his team's M4 for good luck, but this was way too close for comfort. Narcos nearly pulled off an incredible feat here. If Fired Up was able to go in for the silent jump and climb up, there is no way that Elo Eating would have known what exactly happened to him there.
Now at this point, Team Narcos is feeling the pressure. Molotovs used. That will force Team Narcos to stay put. They still need to be careful on that high ground potential control. Just flashes and smokes. Just play accordingly to info, Narcos. You don't have to give away your positionings just yet. Another Molotov. This time now they know that they don't have any utilities left. So the only thing that's remaining is either the smokes or the flashbangs. And Team Narcots, they just have to think of it accordingly. Wow. Definitely finds the wow factor towards Izzy. Yeah, even though it's great when it comes to being unaware of from the T side, yeah, you just don't have such good covers from it. And SK Bao will just definitely take those 2 kills without a doubt. They'll just come back, Narcos. They had a shaky start in the first half, but they'll definitely bring it back this time.
They did it one round at a time. One more for them, and they're able to equalize here, Baba. For them, that's going to be massive, especially with the gun disparities that we are witnessing from each of these teams. You just got to keep on fighting and keep the ball rolling. These Deagles, though, on the other side, though, man, you know how dangerous they can be. These weapons can instantly change the tides of a battle. And with SK while playing it very slow and smart, this is even more prominent.
They're just utilizing time right now, Narcos. They don't want to give up the positionings just yet. Play it patient. Don't give the utilities very quickly. They're nearby towards the side. They know that the side of Team Elo Eating doesn't have any economy left, so they'll be playing heavily towards close range. And SK Wow, he's about to meet his future in 3, 2. Well, it's Element X who gets to meet it, and another beautiful kill from Wow. Just patience. That's more than enough. And I just realized in the first half, it's Elo Eating decides to go in for a full-on save this time. I mean, it's not a save, but they didn't have any other, money enough to get some SMGs or maybe a heavy shotgun. But still, once again, it is equalized on map Chalice. And Elo Eating, especially all eyes on Element X, because that scout shots, dude, it was just absolutely insane. This is why you love LAN events, especially when you see moments like this. And it's the intense feeling of knowing what might happen next is just a different feel to it.
And with this pistol carrying so much weight for both these teams as well, just to set the tempo, SK Wow. Good shot with that swing. Nearly got his own head taken clean off, but that's completely fine and dandy. Last position already known, stuck between a rock and a hard place. Where do you go here, buddy? Is he? Doesn't really have an answer for this, but maybe he does. Good for the first initial kill. The P250 doing work when it comes down to these long-range fights. And SK Wow, what do you have to say here? Is he? With the wraparound. He's not gonna make any form of an over-aggressive peek just yet, but for SK Wow, He has the perfect crosshair placement, the timing to hit the shot, but okay. Is he? I mean, the guy's a demon. He's just so aware. He knows that that's his favorite position, and that's exactly where I'm gonna come. That's where exactly where I would have stayed in. So I'm just gonna swing it and do a pre-fire tap. 3 kills for him. And oh boy, here comes the jump scouts once more.
Yep, definitely. Element X. He's the only one left, but there's still a chance for a 1v2, and Fired Up definitely doesn't want to give him that kill. Playing it as smart as possible, playing it as close. Element X. He doesn't have any utility, one flash. And Scout's main weakness is playing in close range, and that's what Fired Up is going to do. Play it safe. Play accordingly with info. And they just delivered it perfectly. SKWOW was just giving constant information. Shot straight with the Scout, and that was more than enough for Fired Up to get that right positioning and remove the important element in Elo Eating's favor. That is more than enough, but if you take a look at round number 11 itself, you see how aggressive is, both Izzy and Element X was just contesting towards the long range. But turns out, yeah, well, they just got caught out once again towards the side. And SKWOW is gonna miss a lot of shots from the P250, but he will get it. Ooh. Too close for comfort. 5-6. Team Narcos. They're finally in the lead. No timeouts will be taken from both the sides. But I'm pretty sure that Element X is the only one who could maybe, change the whole round. And there you go. That's what I expected. And that's what I predicted. Fired Up goes out. And Element X is just going to bring the pain train for Team Narcos. Post plant it is once again. Izzy has the control and also the info. Wall banks being made. Least amount of damage. The AWP will never favor, because it's Element X who will deliver the final blow. So mesmerizing to watch.
The way that they play, bro, it's just so smart and systematic too. There are no gaps in their defense when you think about it, right? The optimum plays that they're trying to go in for, especially when they get that bomb down, is perfect. SKWOW, it's all right, buddy. Pat yourself on the back. Get your teammate to pat you on the back, because it's okay. We missed a couple of shots, but at least you finished up the play. Don't, unlike Baba, whenever we're playing a ranked game together.
You just did not expose me off in the LAN event, aggressive. Come on.
Good shots from either side. Is he very low on HP? Needs a one tap, but not gonna happen. Not against SKWOW. Had a rocky start, but at the very end, he was able to finish it off in style. 6 and 7. As they hold down the line for a little while longer here. But the thing is, for how long can they survive like this? We need a definitive winner. Otherwise, overtime looks to be a little bit more closer than we would have expected.
Once again, wow element for Team Narcos. We get flashed out, but at least on the bright side, he'll get some info. Oh, Izzy's just... his movement.
He loves that spot.
He just loves the stairs. Because it's a stairway to having the spot on the upper bracket finals, and he will make sure to get good use of it. Elo Eating is not out of the game just yet, and so is Narcos. As they are just getting fired up. 1v1. Not a lot of HP left, no defuse kit. Have good amount of utilities, but no information. So he needs to be relying heavily towards his gunplay. And without the help of the information and Fired Up's location given away very quickly, his time's running out. He needs to commit for the post and gets denied. Izzy gets it. 7-7 in deciders, folks. And it's just the first
It's just
match.
going back and forth.
It's
just a constant back and forth between all of these teams. They have a system in place, and we still have a lower brackets, upper bracket finals. Everything is gonna be there, and the trades are just so good for these close range fights. When you can't beat them, join them. Just rush into their face and mow them down with the lawnmower that you have in hand. 7 and 8 as Team Narcos, they go in for a strategic differential. They just run it down. And that rundown just completely caught the members of Elo Eating off guard because of how slow the members of Team Narcos played in the previous roundups. And now, they're looking for even more opportunities. Fired up, good on the off angle. He's moving it a little bit too far forward, but he still has the aim to back it up.
Oh,
And to finish things off, Team Narcos, they're the ones to move it down forward. Fired up, and SK Wow, they take match number 1 under their belt as they take a one-way ticket straight to the upper bracket finals. While on the other side, it's a sad story for them, but not really the end of the road because they still have the lower brackets to play with. And hopefully, we see them perform because Elo Eating, they've been playing phenomenally. But up against Team Narcos, the consistency was a requirement. And they just could not bring themselves to be as consistent as they were on a map like Shortdust.
yep, absolutely. Map number 3. Oh boy, definitely did not expect it. This Team Narcos, despite being in a major advantage, we've always see them all the way from straight up from Cobblestone, where they lost a 9-1, and then suddenly we saw Team Narcos just respond back, winning Lake, and also then once again on winning map number 3 to Elo Eating who did that clutch back. But yeah, as I'm talking about Team Narcos, congratulations. They will have a spot in the upper bracket finals where they'll either go up against the Rat Syndicate or Deadly Duo, which will happen right now, folks. But yeah, talk about Elo Eating. Their journey's not done yet because it's the double LMs. Their safety net has finally been broken, and they're currently facing the lower brackets, and they just have to wait and watch and see which team will they go up against in the second matchup. But I've got to say, there are so much memorable plays from Elo Eating, especially Element X. I'm glad
This
we didn't
one,
get to see it from
man.
Marwa and man. This scout plays the double jump shot. No one cannot expect a flying element just out there. It's just it's like the chemical compound. Like you add two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen, it just becomes water. So basically element X just did that. Good hydration leads to success, and yeah, he really definitely did show his success with the scout. But definitely not looking good when it comes to victory wise on Chalice. So Team Narcos will be happy about this result.
It was a pretty close duel. So Elo Eating, they can just pat themselves on the back and be like, boys, we did optimally. I don't think they could have done any better than this. As a team, they played well. As a duo, they were phenomenal. And even though the scoreline doesn't show it, I would personally say they're going to be more than happy about that. It's easy though. Look at this guy, 78% headshot percentage. He was on fire throughout this map, but it just wasn't enough. The consistency that Team Marcos had just took over what Elo Eating were trying to do. And in some situations, Elo Eating, they were just not able to find the trades. They both peaked out together, but the other person was just not prepared to take the trade on an immediate basis. A lot of utility was being present over on the map of Chalice. They used utility early, but as the game progressed more and more, the standard of the utility and the quality of the utility that they used just started degrading to a point of no return.
Yeah, it was just very difficult for Elo Eating to contest those trade games. Although there was a lot of individual plays that you should be, be happy about from both Izzy and Element. But Narcos, on the other hand, they held their ground. They knew they knew how to adapt so well, and especially when Izzy kept getting control of the staircase towards the site, you'd usually see him either get a kill or get traded out. And if you make a comparison between that, Izzy has at least secured 2 or 3 kills from being in that one single position. If the side of Team Narcos were unaware of his positions, but once they do get to know it. Once Narcos got to realize that they will be playing in some cheeky angles, they to check every single corners because they don't want to give away their positioning just yet. Let's take a look at the map schedule, the match schedule once again for the second matchup. We already completed Team Narcos versus Team Elo Eating, which means it will be Team Deadly Duo going up against the Rat Syndicate. And boy, oh boy, this matchup is definitely going to be a match to look out for.
That's for certain because It's Buster and Bullet versus Paradox and Sway, the dynamic duos of the dynamic duos CSGO tournament. Now, this is where the real fun will start. I do believe that the players are going to be coming in and setting up all of their equipment soon. So that's going to take a little bit of time to set up, but don't really worry about any of that, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to be the ones who are setting everything up, of course. So make sure to check out all the links down below in the description. And meanwhile, as we head on down over into a short little break and set them up for everything, we'll see you in a bit.